As I predicted, P-Brane has made a third installment in his deranged saga of head-spinning stupidity. Let's debunk his errors. Again.
SpaceX, go to the North Pole, launch your rocket straight up until you get above the atmosphere. Now head down to the equator, but when you get to the equator now, you're going to descend bottom first like you do. And it's okay, expend a rocket. So what? You guys can afford it, and you can shut down the flat Earth movement with this.
No, it wouldn't. Flat Earthers would just call it fake. They did it with One More Orbit. They did it with Elon Musk's space Tesla. They did it when William Shatner went to space. This isn't anything new, and certainly not anything worth anyone's time or money.
Of course you won't do this, because you won't see this.
Correct. You wouldn't see this. 1,000 miles per hour is indeed quite fast, but as you mentioned in a clip I cut out for time's sake, the atmosphere gradually gets thinner with altitude. The air wouldn't hit the rocket like a brick wall, it would be a gradually intensifying wind, giving ample time for the rocket to adjust itself. Even worse for you is the fact that we have designed rockets that can survive and maintain stability with an entry speed of 20,000 miles per hour. A measly 1K would be a cakewalk, regardless of direction.
Water is your barometer. It's your test to see if something is moving, especially in light of the silly equatorial bulge of 14 miles high, which they say is due to the rotational speed, and that the poles of this Earth are flattening. This is no small event. This is cataclysmic. This means that the rotation, the centrifugal force is enough to cause the ground or the Earth to warp.
I explained and debunked this claim in earlier parts. 14 miles isn't that much when compared to Earth's sheer size, gravity counters and is 300 times stronger than the centrifugal force, and Earth's acceleration is negligible. So once again, there shouldn't be any tsunamis at the equator, P-Brane.
I'll be doing a video on this subject too, that water, if it's not acted upon, if you throw a ball, everything wants to move in a straight line.
Well, that's just perfect. Part 4 is confirmed, guys.
Well, I've showed you in many videos too where the rockets are curving downward. That's following the curvature of the Earth, P-Brane. No, because I've showed you high altitude airplanes. They leave jet trails and they go, and the jet trails are a straight line.
Have you ever tried to figure out how much curvature there should be in an airplane contrail? The guys over at Metabunk did. Here's a reference graphic they made. Pretty flat, eh? As for the rockets, after the initial gravity turn, the paths they took in the videos you cited looked quite straight, just like the contrails.
Just, again, it doesn't necessarily prove it. Well, it does prove the fact that no aircraft ever leaving the North Pole have experienced any ground moving out from under them.
That's because they adjust for the Coriolis effect mid-flight. It's not that hard.
It's like the mountain shadow. I keep digressing because I'm just, it's one on top. We have so many proofs of all the fake space stuff.
I debunked this with a literal spoon when I responded to Taboo Conspiracy.
Harnesses, CGI.
I debunked those claims in my response to Level. Link in the description.
And I'm standing on the International Space Station!
Yes, there's a replica of the ISS in a pool used for training astronauts. We have repeatedly demonstrated, however, that the real ISS is in space.
That's why we have bubbles in space, because we have bubbles underwater.
There are no bubbles in space. I debunked that claim in my response to Level. And that's it for part 3 of P-Brane's saga of stupidity. See you next time.